Good afternoon, principals, school leaders, and teachers. And first of all, I still want to thank you for the CIE to invite me here to share my experience and also insight of managing a bilingual education school. So just to give you guys, during the lunch hour, I just had a very brief talk about some of our participants. I found, like Ben mentioned, every school do implement the bilingual education in a very different way. So just to give you some kind of a background about our school and our program So our school actually is a Cambridge school, so which means it's a school authorized by Cambridge International Examinations to offering A-level and GCSE courses to local Chinese students. So why the program in China is so popular these years? It's because I think the situation in China is very similar to the situation in Vietnam, which means that the teaching in China is very much examination-oriented, because our university entering examination is set that way, so which many schools work towards the same goal. And also going to the good, like Chinese good university is very competitive. But in terms, if we talk about the university ranking league table, only 3 universities in China actually get into top 100, which means that there are many good universities worldwide, but whether our Chinese students ready to get into it. So that's why with these many parents that are financially able to send their students to experience a new kind of education in the West. So we're trying to prepare the child before go to university. So that's why the Cambridge program is so popular. Because if you send your small daughter to UK, US, or any other country for high school, it's still a risk. The students are too young. So many parents do prefer to study international curriculum in China before they actually educate in the West for higher education. So there are challenges for different programs and in different countries. So the topic I'm going to share with all of you is called Cultural Awareness in Bilingual Education. So first of all, yes, a school issue. So what's the purpose of setting up Cambridge School? So that's written in our school's website, which means that we're going to provide our international education experience to Chinese students and to assist them to become a world citizen with a global vision, but yet retaining that Chinese spirit. So which means that no matter what kind of education that they will receive each one, they're still Chinese rooted. So that's our vision of our school. And also talk about this managing school in China, there are many different ways. But the challenge of managing this kind of school is because the stakeholders are all from very different kind of cultural background. So our board of directors, they're all Chinese, many of them are Chinese officials. So the thinking things are very Chinese way. Our parents are Chinese, our students are Chinese, but our teachers, so many teachers teaching the Cambridge courses, half of them, or more than half of them, are expatriate staff, and another half is local staff. And also all the administration staff are local staff. So they're mixed with expatriate staff and also local staff. So to manage this kind of school, there are different models in China. Some school, because our school is a unique school in terms of international, the definition of being an international school. So international school can be truly international, which means many international schools in China, they're offering westernized curriculum to foreign students. And also there's another kind of school, it's purely local school. The local schools offering local curriculum, but our school actually is a local student received international education. So I thought that school some schools manage in a very local way because I think by training, some of these Chinese teachers can teach the Cambridge curriculum very well. But in our school, I think maybe another way is more appropriate and productive. So which means that the management team in our school is like 4 of us is a senior management team. So myself, I'm a Chinese, born in China and educated in China. I went to UK for my PhD study and stayed there for a further few years and I come back. So I say 2/3 of me are Chinese, 1/3 of me are British. So our academic director is a German because I think for anyone to manage the academic program, he or she needs to be aware of the academic rigor. So I think German is very good at it. And also our admission and marketing staff, this is truly Chinese. Because when we promote our school in the market, we have to use the way the Chinese parents accept. We have to use language the Chinese parents can understand. And also the pastoral care has to be done a very Chinese way because you deal with Chinese students and also Chinese parents. So which means for pastoral care, admission, and marketing as a purely Chinese people without any background overseas. And also we do have a guidance office because the students start the A-level in our school. They can either go to UK, they all can go to US, and they can choose to go to Canada, and also Australia, Hong Kong, all sort of English-speaking universities for their higher education. But what we found is that the American admission system is the one causing lots of trouble because that's the one with lots of attention and lots of work needs to be done. So the guidance of head of guidance, we want our American guy to lead the work. So that's our management team. It's very international, And also another thing that I want to share with all of you, I talked with Karen briefly in the morning about how to bring all parties all together. Since we all think very differently, and I think I'm very fortunate is that the board of directors or the chairman of the school, he's very nice in the way is that very, very rare he interfered my work, which means that normally he just watched the budget. Apart from that, he gave me the whole authority to run the school, which I feel ever so grateful for that. So I will leave him out of the picture. So how to bring all parties together to work toward the same goal? I think the orientation is very important. Also, when we hire the expatriate staff, we'll explain what kind of school we are. But actually, when they're actually in our school, join our team, I still think orientation is a very important step to bring them together to work for our school. So first of all, for the orientation for the expatriate staff, I'll talk about the differences, the cultural differences between China and the West. So believe or not, the Chinese people do think very differently from the Western people. And I think I will talk about the Chinese values. I'll talk about the kind of 关系, the people relationship, and the faith values, because I talk to them, the faith is not some kind of commodity. You can lost and found. It's something, if you lose it, you lost it forever. You cannot get it back forever. So very careful, don't make Chinese people lose faith in front of others. And also I talk about how the schools is running, the schools like ours is running, because our expatriate staff coming from not all over the world, mainly from UK, US, Canada, and Australia. If the 4 countries run the school in a very different way, for the UK, it's sort of, we follow a very standard curriculum, but for the US teachers, because the US system gives much of the freedom to the school to decide what kind of contents they're going to teach. So which means for expatriate staff come to our school, we'll let them know how our school is running. And also, and I talk about China. I think China is not perfect. the good things about China, the bad things about China. So be prepared. So sometimes the expatriate staff first experience in China, they always complain, how could this happen in our school? I said, guys, this is in China. Everything is possible. So, which means that let them prepared. So it will be much easier later on to bring expatriate staff towards the same goal. And the second orientation, I think is very important, is for our parents. Because many of the Chinese parents said, well, I paid money. I send my daughter to your son or daughter to your school. I have my expectations. I want the school runs the way they thought the international school should be running. So in many ways, they're wrong. So in order to reduce the number of unnecessary interference with the parents, so normally 1 month before the term starts, we're going to have our orientation for the parents. So we're going to talk about how the son or daughter is the learning curve in our school, and also how our school is running, and also why we're doing things a certain way. Because Chinese student is very much like the hardest things in the world, I think, is to be the Chinese student. Normally, for a Chinese high school student, they get up very early in the morning, say half past 5, and work through 10:30 or 11 in the evening, no stop the whole day. It's very hard work. And once they get a lot of homework every day, but when the son or daughter come to our school, I'll let them know this is not this kind of study or student life we're going to offer to our students. It's very different. And also some parents maybe complain about why my son or daughter's English scores is so low in your school, and my son or daughter did pretty well in his previous local high school. And I'll tell them, because the standard we're using here is very different. The standard used in our school is very high. So all sort of issues, if you can discuss with the parents beforehand, they will understand more and also communicate better with the class, with the school. And also orientation for the local staff. And I briefly discussed about the pay scale of the local staff and expatriate staff in our school. I know it's not fair, but actually it's happening everywhere in China, which means that the local staff paid significantly lower than the expatriate staff. So first I heard this kind of a pay scheme. I think it's not fair. How could this exist in the same organization? But actually, it just happened in China, in every school like us, in international school and in Cambridge school as well. So how do we, like local staff, apart from pay scale, all the rest are very similar. We treat them as very similar to any expatriate staff. And also the career path for our local staff as well. So and many of the local staff, actually, they're just fresh graduate from university. It's very hard, even in China today, to find a ready-made bilingual teacher. We have to train them with the experience. So, which means that the orientation for the local staff is very important because many of the local staff, they've never been exposed to international culture. So the initial orientation will let them understand how the international education is conducted in China, how the local staff should grow themselves to be a qualified bilingual teacher. So that's the orientation. I think is very useful. We did the orientation every year. In the first year, I didn't do for the expatriate staff. It's lots of conflicts arise. And in the second year and onwards, I do the orientation. I do think it reduces lots of conflicts later on. And same with parents and local staff. I may not able to finish all the slides because only just 19 seconds left. I'm happy to discuss with you guys later on if time is not me to proceed. So academic program, so which means I have to stop now, Ben, because time is running. It's 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Well, I leave the slides here. I'm happy to discuss this with you guys later on. Thank you very much.